Maker can be anything from marking out a neighborhood, editing your college dormitories or college areas just to make sure that that information is accurate, mapping out your neighborhood, making sure that whatever your favorite businesses are, such as what my example with Life, making sure that that information is accurate and up to date. Basically, anything that is on Google Maps that affects any of the other products can be edited. Now, in regards to this, there's the common question of, well, how do I become part of the Map community? It's relatively easy. You can go to our Map Your World community, and when you go to Map Your World, you can actually introduce yourself, join the forum, and talk to the various people throughout the community. Okay. And from here, you can be introduced to mappers all over the world and talk to them. Here's me, and you can talk to me. And at the very top, you can see Adam. So now that we've gone over the various final thoughts, I also want to show you really quick, if you ever run into any problems, you can always go to the help guides, which is at google.com/support/mapmaker. There's various user guides that will take you to the help forum, to the latitude, longitude blog, the gallery, or to the live edits that are shown on the map. Now, on the user guides, there's various ones that you can check out, such as getting started, some advanced tutorials, and here is one that's going to be of interest to quite a few people: roads, bikes, and trails. Each one will walk you through the process. And of course, if you ever have any questions or issues, you can always, again, give us an email at mappinggoogle.com. For now, if there's any questions, I will try to answer them as best I can. Adam, any questions that I should take a look at?
If you'd like, happy to unmute any of you so you can give your question by voice. Or if you prefer to type it, then you're welcome to do that. I would encourage you to send it to everyone, though, so everyone can appreciate your question. And the way you would speak by voice is you would, I believe, you should be able to unmute yourself individually. But if you are not able to do that, you can just post a note, and I will make sure to unmute you.
So here's a question in regards to MapMaker available in other regions of the world. Again, currently MapMaker is only available in 187 countries and territories. If you want to check out where those are, you can actually do a Google search for MapMaker available countries, and that will take you to this page. Shows you all the countries where it's currently available and where it's not. And the ultimate goal is to make it a worldwide application. So hopefully, eventually, it will be available worldwide, but currently, these are the countries where it's available. And there was a question from Mike, but if I could get a little clarification in regards to that, it would help me answer better. Either or. If you'd like to question by voice or by typing it out. Mike, if you're talking, I can't really hear you very well. Sorry, can you repeat that one more time?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Okay, so I'm trying to align roads in my town with a satellite image,
Mm-hmm.
and you can only do it by intersection or segment at a time. So in between edits, there is like a diagonal where there's not a diagonal, and
Okay.
I'm worried about that affecting like driving directions and such.
Definitely. Can you do you have your map open right now to that area?
Yeah, I can link to it.
Yeah. Can you please give me a link to that page?
And while you're doing that, I'd also like to give a brief bit info and also reassurance with regards to driving directions. So while most of what you're going to be doing on the map actually appears as rendered instantaneously after review or within 10 minutes, driving directions are actually calculated not on an instantaneous basis at this time. So that means that even though what you see on the map may not be optimal for what you would perceive to be going to driving directions at a given moment, it's very unlikely that's going to negatively impact the way driving directions are calculated unless you don't make a further edit to correct that or to complete that within a period of time. So, in fact, this is generally good advice. There are a lot of instances in which you're making edits on the map and you can't finish something due to other pending edits, and you're frustrated because it may look incomplete or be perceived as incomplete by people looking at the map. We're working on ways to make this better, but in the meantime, I would not personally worry about it. With that said, I know you're going to be sending a link, and we can take a look at it to give some more thoughts.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the link currently, and I can see what he's talking about. You can see Poncha Ave, and I can't pronounce that very well, Cochetopa Ave, are both kind of out of alignment, including West Ave, wow, with the actual satellite image. Now, currently, the best way to really do that by yourself is to actually select segment. Now from here, you should be able to try. I'm working on it. So from here, I've selected this segment, and to make it more aligned with this actual satellite image, currently, the best way really.
Yeah, that's actually, this was good. This is actually something that I'm not sure on best. So I would recommend posting this one in the forum, and Andrew and I will give a specific, we'll look at it and also consult with some of our colleagues to figure out the best way to tackle it.
Yeah. So as Kent actually said, dragging point A or B is something that I would love to be able to do, but again, this would be a great moment for the submit feedback button. So from here, you already have this already selected. Highlight the area and describe the problem. And Mike, if you already posted an issue and it's in queue, drop us a line at mapping at Google, and we can do about expedited. Now, so in regards to the question from in regards to mapping in Guinea, basically, if it's a country where it is mappable but there isn't a street view, you can actually add the edit to the actual location, like draw the outline of the building structure, and since it's verifiable by the satellite, that edit will go through. And if there is like a website or some sort of source for information, you can actually add that information data as well. But since there isn't a street view, you don't necessarily need it for verification, but it is helpful.
And there's another idea also associated with that. If you happen to have an Android phone and use the MyTracks application, or you have another way to get GPS coordinates pertaining to a particular location, point of interest, road, etc. You can then use the MapMaker overlay tool to place a KML on top. So this is particularly technically jargony here, I realize that. For those of you who are feeling particularly geeky and want to tackle this, you can create a KML file, output from either MyTracks or another GPS system, and then go to MapMaker, enable the overlay in Labs, and then place that KML in at a public URL, add that to as an overlay, and then trace that right on the map. So there's no automatic way to do that. You'll still have to trace. But for those who want to tackle mapping spots, places, roads where there is a lack of good street view or satellite imagery, that might be a useful option for you.
Any other pending questions or issues that you'd like to be addressed? All right. Hearing and seeing none, I'm going to mining areas and information. Again, with this type of information, some categories are available. I've actually had conversations with the team about mineral data and that sort of thing. Currently, there isn't really a way to show that as well as many would like. But again, eventually it hopefully will be. And if you go to the forums, you can actually participate in that discussion and voice your desire to have that. One thing that was actually talked about was to have that in the layers aspect. But again, it's not currently there. In answer to Jonathan's question, you can map out the building outlines of residences as long as you list that building and give the appropriate street number. But you can't say, this is my house, this is John Wilson's house, or this is, what have you's house.
You basically want to avoid personally identifying information on the spot map. I think it's actually pretty fun. I did just this when I was learning to use MapMaker myself. My family lives on a cul-de-sac, and I mapped all the houses in that cul-de-sac. And it just looks pretty neat on the map. That in itself is not going to necessarily affect or improve driving directions, for instance, but from making the map nicer to look at and providing visual context for people, I think it's a neat thing.
Quick. Can you tell me a little bit about which road specifically you want to split?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. The star lane?
Sorry, star lane. Yes.
How it goes all the way around. It needs to be split in each corner because they're separate roads.
Okay. If we select this segment, again, this is going back to a similar issue with what Mike had. For now, I would recommend going to the submit feedback section and to posting about it on the forum.
Okay.
Okay. So again, this application is constantly changing and being improved, and it really is thanks to our dedicated users, the community, and the people who are actually posting on the forum and submitting feedback and letting us know what aspects would be useful for them, what they'd like to see, and how it can be improved. So anytime you actually do the submit feedback or add to the forum, you're making the program better for yourself and for anybody else who uses it. Any other questions? Ooh. Connect features. Okay. What is the most efficient way to add all hospitals with phone numbers in the country? If you already have all that information, that's quite a lot of information. MapMaker currently is for kind of point by point, line by line, micro edit. If you have